Hi, my name is Lindsay and I'm going to be leading your yoga practice today. Today we're going to be working to balance the root chakra, the Muladhara, and we're going to begin in child's pose. So come to your mat. I'll be offering modifications throughout the practice today, and child's pose is always available. So if you need a moment to reconnect, feel free to find this posture. Toes meet at the back of the mat. Knees can be as wide as the mat. And we're going to bring our torso through to meet the ground. Hands are long, coming out from the shoulders, forehead to the mat. And just breathe here. See if with each inhale, you can work to create more space. And with each exhale, maybe work the hips back down to the heels to touch. Shoulders come away from the ears for that long spine. Feel the energy all the way from your hips through the top of the spine, grounding into your mat. Root chakra is the source of our safety and security. So just feeling that sense of safety and grounding on our mat today during our practice. On your next exhale, come to hands and knees pose. Making sure that hands come directly under the shoulders, space between the fingers, that knees directly are down from the hips, and that you should not be able to see your feet. They should stay in line with your knees. Just feeling the neutral spine here. Perhaps constricting the breath as on an inhale, we drop the belly, shoulders draw back away from the ears, coming into cow pose. Feeling, that nice spinal movement. And then on exhale, pushing the earth away, coming into cat pose. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Feeling the movements that are happening in our hips as well as the shoulders, those opposing movements. Several more cats and cows on your breath. Maybe on your next cat, pushing into the tops of the feet and allowing the knees to just hover for a moment. And releasing them back down. Walk the hands forward, but leave the hips over the knees, allowing the elbows to come down. Perhaps the chin is tucked, or if you feel it in your practice that you can bring the chin down to the mat, bring your chin to the mat. Breathing here, again, feeling the expanse with each inhalation. And then seeing if you can bring yourself closer to the earth on the exhale. In puppy pose. Soft gaze to the eyes, just warming up. Feeling grounded to the mat, feeling safe in our space today. And on your next exhale, coming into down dog, walking the hands back, tucking the toes, lifting up, piking up. Checking in with our form here. Space between the fingers as we had in hands and knees pose. Index fingers point forward. Having that external rotation. If it's helpful, come forward into plank. Really see the the crease of the elbows facing forward, and then exhaling back into down dog. Pedal out the feet. Feet should be coming down hip width distance. And breathing here. On an inhale, I'm going to bring the right leg to hip height. Bend the knees if you're walking on the ceiling, and then begin to rotate that hip open gently. Just a little, maybe mini circles here, just countering that puppy pose flexion, bringing a bit of extension. Making sure that the right shoulder comes back in line with the left shoulder. And an exhale, bringing the hips to neutral and returning the right foot next to the left. Perhaps bringing a bend to the knees to release the low back, pressing the torso to the thighs and then straightening through the legs. Again, checking in with the alignment, that external rotation in the upper arm. And on an inhale, bringing the left leg to hip height, bending the knee as if you're going to walk on the ceiling. And on an exhale, opening up, doing some little hip circles, making sure that you're bringing the left shoulder back in alignment. And then maybe doing some hip circles in the other direction. And on an exhale, returning the hips to neutral and letting the left foot come down next to the right. On an exhale, look forward and walk the hands forward to meet, or the feet forward to meet the hands. Coming into ragdoll, perhaps you grab opposite shoulders. I'm just gonna tuck my shirt back for a second. Perhaps you grab opposite shoulders or elbows. Swaying here. Maybe bring a bend into the knees. We're still waking up those legs and those hamstrings. Shaking the head no, shaking the head yes. And in this forward fold, really feeling that that bend is coming from the hips and then just draping yourself over the legs. Perhaps you want to bring your hands back behind the calves. Come a little closer. And on your next inhale, rising up, hands overhead, looking to the sky. And on an exhale, bringing hands to heart center. Take a moment here, maybe close your eyes as we begin to find our intention for practice today. I offer the intention of grounding as we work to activate the Muladhara chakra today, our root chakra. Perhaps you have another intention that is calling to you. Take an inhale and then let's have a cleansing exhale, open mouth. Just to seal the intention. And that feels very good. Let's do that again. All right, let's begin. Let's open our eyes, soft gaze as we begin our practice. Inhale, arms overhead, gaze follows. Exhale, bending the knees like you're sitting on the edge of a bar stool. Having a tuck of the pelvis. Looking down, seeing if you can see your big toes past your knees. Treating the hips like a bowl that you don't want soup to spill out of. Letting the heart shine through as we're in our Utkatasana chair pose. We're going to take one more inhale. And on our exhale, hands to heart center, fold. Hands to either side or fingertips to either side of the feet on an exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. On an inhale, rise to stand. Arms come overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. On an inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, return to Utkatasana. And on an exhale, folding in half, hands to either side. Inhale, halfway lift. Halfway fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, returning to chair pose. Again, checking in with the hips as the pelvis tucked under. And exhale, hands to heart center, fold, hands to either sides of the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to high plank. We're gonna take it easy. Come forward to the tippy toes and lower all the way down to the mat, which should bring you in great alignment for baby cobra. Your hands should be tucked in, close to the body, coming directly underneath the elbows. And on an inhale, just lifting the shoulders and head. Neck should stay neutral, eyes forward. Just here for a moment. And then exhale to the belly. Make your way to hands and knees. And on an exhale, coming into down dog. Still pedaling out the feet. On an inhale, look forward. On an exhale, walk, hop, float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms up overhead. Exhale to chair pose. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And exhale either to chaturanga or making your way to baby cobra. If you've gone to chaturanga, we're going to take an up dog on an inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, feet come to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, coming into chair pose. Inhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take a chair twist to the right. Keeping hands at the heart center. We are going to bring the left elbow to the outer right knee, but we're first going to work the posture in an upright position. So inhale, exhale, begin your twist. Now twisting from here, this part of the spine, hands remaining at heart center. On each inhale, bring in the breath, and on each exhale, see if you can twist a little further. Shoulders drawing down away from the ears. Maybe take a peek at the knees, trying to keep those knees in line with one another, not letting one draw in front. And then maybe bringing that elbow to the outside of the knee and using the elbow to push onto the knee to maybe just get a little bit more of a stretch. Only pushing to the edge though. Only stretch, never pain. And on your next inhale, take your last moment in your spinal twist. And on an exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. And on an exhale, making our way back into chair. Inhale, exhale, hands come to heart center. Again, we're going to spiral twist to the left this time. Inhale, and on our exhale, beginning to twist to the left. Keeping knees in line with one another. Hips in line, not letting the right hip come forward, bringing it back. Shoulders coming down away from the ears. And then maybe beginning to work that right elbow to the outside of our left knee. There we go. Keeping those hands at Anahata, heart chakra. Continuing to check in with your alignment. Maybe something's changed. And on an inhale, have your last moment in your spinal twist. And on an exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Begin to make your feet to the outside edges of the mat. Toes are going to point out at a 45-degree angle. We're coming into Malasana Yogi Squat. Now, if you like, you can use a block here. One moment while I get my block. For support, if you want to support a Malasana. The medium height is pretty good. Probably best suited for this pose. And then you can, if you're in supported Malasana, you can really work on opening the hips, maybe allowing the elbows to continue to encourage the knees to open. Or if you're not in supported Malasana, really feeling the hips drawing through to create that straight line from the top of the spine to the base of the spine. Breathing here. And you may stay here, or if you would like a challenge and would like to come into elephant, bring the hands to the third eye, center. Inhale, and on your exhale, press into the feet, keeping a bend in the knees, not allowing them to track beyond the feet. Trying to bring the back straight. This can be intense, but feeling grounded through the feet as we are here. Seeing what you can let go of. And on your next exhale, returning to Malasana. If crow is in your practice, I'm going to invite you to try a crow. So I'm going to walk back just so you can see me a little bit. So we're going to bring the hands to the mat, coming up high onto the balls of the feet and working the toes to touch behind you. Now you're going to bring your knees up into the triceps or into the armpits. And you can stay here, you know. You can even use a block under your feet to get yourself higher, but in a supported posture. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you begin to catch a little bit of air, crossing at the ankles. Breathing here. Staying. And then returning. So toes are together underneath. And we're going to walk into garland pose actually. So we're basically there right now. We're going to bring the knees just a bit wider. Feet are flat. Arms are going to stretch out in front of you and just fold. Maybe heels come flat to the mat today, maybe they don't. Just here for a moment. And then coming to hands and knees pose. And lowering all the way down to the belly. Oh. All right. Bringing hands to rest at stacked palms. Maybe windshield wipering the legs to release the low back. And we're going to come into locust. Arms down along by your sides. On an inhale, palms, we're going to press into the mat. Start to press the tops of your feet into the mat so that your knees begin to lift off. And then on an inhale, prepare, and on an exhale, begin to lift up head, shoulders, torso. Inhale, and on your next exhale, maybe the legs come up and follow. Think of the legs being zipped together. A nice little coming together of the thighs, the shins. Breathing here in the back bend. And exhale, releasing to the mat. All right, we're gonna make our way into child's to counter the back bend. And just breathing here for a moment. Coming up on the hands and knees, we're gonna cross at the ankles and roll back onto our backs. Finding happy baby, bringing elbows inside the knees. Sacrum stays to the floor, the lower back's gonna stay grounded. Maybe rocking side to side. Nice little massage in the lower back. And inhale, and then releasing long on the mat. Maybe a nice long body stretch, and then coming into Savasana. Feeling held, supported by the mat. Taking in the sounds around you. Feeling the temperature of the air on your skin. Is it warm? Is it cool? Letting everything go. You are welcome to stay in Savasana for as long as you like, or begin to awaken. Bring some movement into the fingertips and the toes. Bringing the arm up overhead, the right arm, rolling onto the right side and coming to a seat. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. I hope you leave feeling grounded, secure, knowing that you can always find safety on your mat. Let's take a breath together. Inhaling, arms up overhead, and sealing our practice. Bowing forward. Namaste.